Welcome back to News Geelong on this Friday, April the 9th, 2010. The world of Geelong sport continues to be as active as ever, as the Flying Hawk himself, Nathan Currie, reports.
Cheers, Graham. And it's a big night for sport with a few last-minute recruiting issues. First up tonight is netball, and Anthony Burton spoke to Christy Cruella about East Geelong recruiting a junior player in unusual circumstances from Werribee Centrals.
Why is it that you've gone, or why is it that you tried to recruit a junior player to come up and play A grade at Geelong West?
East Geelong.
East Geelong, sorry.
Okay, I'm not at West Geelong just yet.
East Geelong.
I offered her a goaling position at East Geelong.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Werribee couldn't do that. There was no goaling positions open for her.
Yep.
She was actually selected in Werribee's B grade side as a defender.
Yep.
So we all know she can play a great defensive game, but she wanted to play goals. And after much discussion with Hayley Sadolki, with Lynn down at Werribee, end of the day, even spoke to the new A grade coach at Werribee as well, who is
Danny Stewart.
But at the end of the day, Werribee couldn't help her out with what she wanted in her career so far.
Right.
So I decided to give her a go and offer her a position in goals. And of course, we're talking about Melissa Bragg.
There's a big clash down at the Hawks Nest tomorrow in the BFL, with Anglesea facing reigning premiers Drysdale. News Geelong caught up with the Roos coach Luke Primus to get his thoughts on the match.
First of all, Luke, you had a great win against Bowen Heads last week. What sort of things will you take from that win into this week's game against Drysdale?
We'll probably just take a bit of confidence out of it, really. We, this time last year, their first round we got done by 20 goals. So to come away with a win first game against a pretty good opponent, we reckon. We're heading to Drysdale with heads held pretty high.
Well, we talked about pre-season, the return of Brock Shields. What sort of, are you happy with? Obviously, you'd have to be pretty happy with how he went. What sort of things will that help the midfield against Drysdale?
Yeah, it's just his hard running, his second and third efforts, sets a real example as our captain and assistant coach. Just the way he goes about it, the way he trains, just tells everyone to come along with him, and then they do, which is he sets a good example.
So do you have any certain game plans to attack Drysdale? Will you be watching out for any players, or is it just the whole team you're really focusing on?
Yeah, we try and just go man on man. We'll reckon our men are as good as any other players one-on-one, so that's how we'll try and play Drysdale. It worked for us reasonably well last year. We took them to within a goal both times, so we'll probably go with a similar attitude.
Adding to the occasion, the Hawks will be unfurling their 2009 Premiership flag to their town and supporters before the game. Likewise, in the GDFL, the East Geelong Eagles will unfurl their Premiership flag before tackling Anarchy at Richmond Crescent. And finally tonight, the man of the GDFL, Lowther, spoke to Cryo coach Carl Fedke at the GDFL launch during the week about the controversial departure of journeyman Ricky O'Toole during the week.
He lost a couple of players this year, most notably Ricky O'Toole, who's a club legend. Can you tell us about your feelings on that and how it actually happened?
Well, Ricky's not the only person to leave the club. We've had something like 23 clearances prior to Ricky leaving, so that's about a third of our list. And the philosophy of the club is that the club is greater than individual. Ricky is a definite loss. But once again, we're focusing on the guys that want to be at the club, not the guys that don't want to be there. We don't have the time or the resources to expel energy into people that really don't need to be. So we want to focus on our youngsters, our juniors, get those guys in a position where they represent the club like Ricky for a long, long time, and get those guys into a process where they're playing good football.
So Graham, it's going to be another ripper week of sport. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Nathan the Flying Hawk. And to yourself, enjoy your weekend of active Geelong sport. And particular to all those clubs who are playing their first home games this weekend and unfurling the Premiership flags that they so earnestly won in 2009. You have a great day, because it is something special. Now we turn to Larni Salathiel and what is happening in Geelong weather. How does it look for the next few days? Because we've had sunshine, we've had wind, we've had rain. What's the weather forecast, Larni?
Well, Graham, it's looking like there's going to be a little bit of rain around this week, so let's take a look at the forecast. For Saturday, it's going to be cloudy with some isolated showers and light winds and a top of 22. Sunday, cloudy again with some scattered showers, also a top of 19. For next week, Monday, a partly cloudy day with some isolated showers during the morning and a maximum of 20. Tuesday, becoming cloudy with some light winds and a top of 22. And for Wednesday, cloudy again with some isolated showers and a top of 21. And today we had a partly cloudy day with some patchy rain due tonight and a top of 22. And that's the outlook for the weather this week, Graham. Hopefully we get a little bit of rain.
Thank you, Larni. Enjoy your weekend, particularly down watching Anglesey in the Ballawin Football League, those bouncing kangaroos. Now, if you like your sport fast and furious, then head down to the Geelong waterfront this weekend to see Formula Powerboats in action. There will be 5 classes racing over the weekend in the Australian Formula Powerboat Grand Prix Series. Andrea Cozza was trackside for News Geelong.
Thanks, Graham. I'm here at the waterfront for the Australian Formula Powerboat Grand Prix Series, and this weekend there'll be a host of events.
It's great to have this on the back of the Formula One car we had a week or so ago. Had the Minardi go down the Eastern Beach Road here, so yeah, it's been good.
It'll be a great event, the speedboats, 240 clicks, probably go out no further than, I suppose, Fano or Pan over there, no further than the Cunningham Pier, L-shaped course. You can be right up close.
Craig, if you could just tell us a little bit about the event this weekend down at the waterfront.
Yeah, the great aim of this event really, it's a real family event. So we're trying to cover all our classes. So behind me is a Formula 1 boat, which most people have seen on TV. We have a Formula 2, a Formula 3, we're progressively smaller. A sports mono class, which is like your traditional ski race boat. And then we've got an introduction of a 25 horsepower class, which is a smaller class again, followed by our Formula Futures, which is our kids class from 12 years old. I suppose the main thing is people can see how fast these guys go. Well, we do 240 kilometres an hour on this course out here today. We get 5 Gs on a corner, so we actually don't back off when we go into a corner. We trim the boat down and just turn, so there's no deceleration. They will accelerate to 100 mile an hour in 5 seconds, so they're pretty awesome machine, and they only weigh 550 kilos all up with the driver. Basically, the whole Steam Packet Gardens will be transformed to a pit area. A lot of it will be actually fenced, but most of it will be available to the public to come and have a look at all the boats. It is a free event. If you do wish to get into the pits and have a look at the boats, it's a $5 charge, but that's it. The rest of it's going to be transformed. We'll have marquees up and there's food vendors. We have a water ski show on, which is Southern Cross Water Ski Show, which will be on during the lunch breaks on the Saturday and the Sunday. So the whole idea of it is from 9 o'clock in the morning, it's full and frantic right through to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
From inside a Formula Powerboat down at the waterfront, Andrea Cozza for News Geelong. Back to you, Graham.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for being with us on News Geelong this Friday evening. Remember, Tiger, take your time and smell the flowers. From the team at News Geelong, have a safe and enjoyable weekend and a very good night.